What is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely day. And with that being said, let's dive into the TA. All right, guys, we had a pretty eventful day over here in the markets, and I am just going to say I do think we are going to be pumping off the CPI. If we do get a pullback, I think it's going to be treated as a buying opportunity, but I definitely do think things are set up across the board to continue pushing right away, especially the Mag 7 stocks. We're going to be going over those in this video. I'm going to do my best to keep this video 10-20 minutes so we can, get all the information we need to get heading into tomorrow, how we can be taking advantage of this to make our money. Yeah, let's get after it, okay? So we're going to kick it off with SPY and QQ. We'll go over the Mag 7 stocks, and I'll just point out some setups I'm watching on the second half of the video towards the end of the video, okay? Starting off over here with SPY, I'm just going to point out, guys, you broke up from your rising wedge pattern. I did talk about this in yesterday's video. I told you guys you could check out the patternsite.com and you will see the stats on these patterns. This is something that, people don't realize that these things do break up as well, and there is a measure move that comes with them. I'm not going to put the measure move on, your radar here, but you would just take right here to here, and you would add that to your breakout level. That brings you all the way up here, somewhere between 613 and 620. This is exactly what I was talking about yesterday, that, if we do decide to start breaking out from this, that is going to lead to a move. I did talk about in yesterday's. I know from the thumbnail it looked like, oh, Henry Boy's just expecting a bearish, a bearish move down. No, I was telling you guys the market is compressing. When the market compresses like this, compression leads to expansion in either direction. I was biased to the upside, and if we did end up pulling back, I thought it was going to be a lackluster pullback into this area over here, and then I was going to treat it as a buying opportunity because of how the weekly charts are set up. Now I'm going to tell you right now, I think we're probably going to be pumping off a CPI tomorrow. I don't know if maybe CPI is lackluster, and we just hit it with a slight gap down and pump after the fact, or just a slight gap up, fill the gap, and continue up from there. Or we hit it with the gap and go. We don't actually know. But I'll tell you right now, these charts are definitely set up to continue pushing. I'm just going to say SPY, okay? It already started breaking up out of your rising wedge pattern over here that we were paying attention to. And, we were right here nearing the apex. We knew it was about to start hitting it with a big move. Well, guys, I think it's pretty safe to say we had some violent action going on today, and now things are looking like they want to continue pushing, okay? So SPY broke up from that rising wedge action going on there. And then what do we have over here on QQQ, guys? I'm just going to point out you got above the supply zone we were paying attention to. All right, you did not break underneath the level that we were saying you're going to need to hold. Okay, if you tested this area, we really didn't want to test this area, but if you did, you definitely want to hold over here at 527.92. All right, but as we could see, if we just swept the 529.01 low right over there, you can see that on the daily time frame. That was the previous day's low. We didn't really want to break that, okay? Because you break that, you test 527.92, and if you break that, bad things can happen. You can start breaking down from this rising wedge. That did not become the case, guys. We actually did end up pushing up. We did get above. We got a daily close as well above our supply zone, above 533.82, and we talked about this. What would that close bring? We probably are going to start to move to 536.04, and then above there, guys, oh, we're talking all-time highs, baby, okay? I'm not saying it comes right away, but I'm going to point out in this video why I think we're definitely set up to continue pumping here, all right? And why I am personally going to remain bullish biased. And yeah, there's that. I'm also going to remind everyone, if you do want to come trade with me, you could take 40% off using code GREECE. That is code GREECE. I'm currently in Greece. I'm going to be here for the next 10 days. I'm going to just be running that code. So if anybody wants to try trading, I'm still going to do my best to be killing these markets. We're still going to be killing these markets. All right. I will still be live streaming at least 1 to 2 hours a day off the open, if not more. We'll see what we get. But yeah, just because I am in Greece, I'm not at my normal setup. Okay. Yeah, tools are limited. You can try that for a discounted price and see if you like it. If not, no harm done. All right. But I stand behind my product, and I think it's a great tool for anybody. Anybody to make their money in the market. You think these videos are great? I'll show you in real time how to execute and make your money. Okay. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, guys, we got the most bullish closes we possibly could have gotten today over here on SPY and QQQ, okay? But yeah, coming over here to SPY, we're gonna just point out these levels, and I'm just gonna say IWM guys, you still did not test the 200 DMA. I think we're going to test the 200 DMA. We did not test it. It makes no sense that we're getting this close and we're not gonna test it. I think we're gonna test it. All right, come over to SPY. Let's just go over the levels we're gonna be paying attention to. On the upside, we have today's high at 603.47, above there 605.37, 608.13, and 613.23. If you're not someone who can put on these and put on these levels to give your nice reactions there, so you can have a better time trading the markets, steal my levels. They're here for the taking. I want you to make money. Take the levels. They're right here. I make a video Monday through Thursday, and then I do have a weekly update every weekend. All right, covering what we're watching into the following week. I include the indices over here. I include the Mag 7 stocks every video, and then I also do include some trade ideas. Most videos, if not every video, especially the weekly updates going into the following week, so you can make your money consistently. There's not going to be another channel to do it. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you know when we are putting out these videos so you can make your freaking money. I'm here for you. You're gonna make your money. You're gonna make it. Okay. You just gotta do what you know you gotta do. All right. And you gotta execute like you know you have to execute. That's really just a lot of people's problem is they do not do what they already know they have to do. And over time you're just you're gonna get hammered into your head of like, okay, we're not gonna do that. We need to start doing these things. You need to put in the good practices. All right. And I try and help you guys with those in these videos for absolutely no cost to you. All right, but on the upside, you have 603.47, 605.37, 608.13, and 613.23. On the downside, guys, we're talking 602.48. That was the level we wanted to see a close above over here, right? That was really gonna, nail in the coffin kind of for us over here. Okay, you take that out, we're probably pushing 605.37, 608.13. All right, but on the downside, we're watching 602.48. We want to find buyers to test it off that tomorrow. 602.48, 601.25. All right, that was our little yesterday's high that we broke out above. Okay, that was the first key level right there, 601.25, and above there, the next key spot was 602.48. Guys, we got a daily close above both. What do you think that says going into CPI? The market wants to pump. The daily RSI isn't even overbought yet. I think we're getting overbought. On a lot of these times, we do end up, you could say we get overbought. We didn't get overbought over here. We didn't get overbought over here. I think we're about to hit 70 on the daily RSI, and I think it's going to come with some boom boom action up to here. Okay. But yeah, on the downside, you have 602.48, 601.25, and then, I'm just going to mark out today's low over here, which was 599.09. Okay, that is what you're going to be paying attention on the downside. And let's just say we do get a gap down off CPI and you completely take out all of this. Okay, underneath 599.09, we'll make that a blue level right there. That's your trigger level for downside. All right, we're talking 595.54, 593.20, 591.05, and 589.08. Again, put these levels on your chart. They will do you well. Okay, and we will continuously update the levels every single video as well. Now, I meant what I said, guys. This thing is, yeah, it's probably going to continue pushing. I know you're still in this rising wedge pattern, but we saw what happened with SPY over there. And, I'm just going to say you got the daily close above the level you need to get the daily close above. Okay. That was 533.82. Okay. That is, that's a big feat over here for the bulls. Okay. And, above 533.82. Now we're going to be watching today's high. All right, which was 534.90. Above 534.90, we have 536.04, and above there, guys, we have absolutely nothing until all-time highs 540.81. Okay. On the downside, we're watching 533.82, 532.10, and 529.01. Okay, so that was yesterday's low. Guess what? You swept that bad boy and you went straight up. All right, so I'm just going to change that level. Underneath 533.82, we have 532.10. And then we have 528.89 and then 527.92. All right, those are the levels you're paying attention over here on SPY and QQQ. And I'm just going to, briefly just show over here IWM. I'm going to go over DIA. Guess what, guys? All right, you broke out from over here. You have this big trend line break. You had this little trend line break over there. You had the confluence for this move up. I told you guys this is something that small caps are probably going to be heating up over here. And, once we got this weekly close, oh, baby, it was time. This weekly Cloud over here just started flipping back to bullish. Well, I'm just going to show you what happens when this thing flips back to bullish, okay? You end up having a trending move, okay? That is what, most of these times you have weeks where you hold above it, which means even if we come back to test it, we're going to expect buyers, which means we have opportunities. We're either looking for the trending move up or we are looking for the pullback buying opportunity, and we can make our money that way. Either way, we know how to make our money in this market right now. That's the beauty of this, okay? We called it out ahead of time. We called it out as it was happening, and now it's happening. And I'm telling you, the next move is we're either going to continue past this and we just get that trending move going, or we are going to go something like this, pull back into here. I'm going to be a buyer definitely over here. And yeah, we target over here 217.37. That's going to be right around that 0.786 fib. Okay, look at that. There we go. All right, but that's IWM, guys. I'm anticipating further upside. That's what I want to make very clear over here in this video. We're going to come over here to DIA, and I am going to point out, yeah, it also didn't get the worst close over here, and yeah, you also do have this inverse head and shoulders pattern that did not break out yet. Yes, you heard that right. You did not break out yet. Well, you kind of did today, actually. You kind of did. Yeah, you did. Okay, I was thinking something like that, but you did. Okay, you just broke out today from this inverse head and shoulders pattern. Next up, 431.42 to 433.20. That supply zone is going to be tested, and above there, what are we going to pay attention to? Okay, talking the golden pocket, 0.786. Yeah, which happens to actually come in right here in our supply zone. Yeah, so we're just going to pay attention to 431.42 to 433.20. I personally don't trade DIA over here. I just trade IWM SPY QQQ. Well, when I'm trading SPY and QQQ, I'll just be, day trading futures over there. That is what I'd be doing in my live streams. If you want to come check that out, again, code GREASE. That will get you 40% off. If you are joining, just make sure you are using that because I want you to get that discount if you're going to join this month. But DIA over here just kind of gives me a bigger picture point of view if all the indices are aligning. That's what I like to see. Okay, we're going to just check out VIX real quick and we're going to see how that is shaping up. Well, guys, it also is looking top heavy over here. It's looking like this thing wants to start, coming down, breaking underneath this 1665 low. I told you guys when we were up here, okay, I told you we were going to be looking for it to come down and break the low eventually. What happened? We swept it, okay, and what happened? We broke the low. And now I think we're about to break the next low, 1665. 4-hour RSI is still not in oversold territory. That is something we typically will see before this thing gets its big bounces. Doesn't happen all the time, but it's definitely a condition that we're going to be paying attention to, okay? So I know you started perking up into end of day there. I don't think that's necessarily going to mean all that much. I think it's probably going to be faded with how that daily chart is looking and how everything else is set up. Now, CPI does come in with a big old surprise. Again, we're just going to look at this as a buying opportunity. We know how those weekly charts are set up. We know we're thinking more upside. And I'm just going to say right now, stocks like this over here on Tesla Boy, yeah, they're making me think it's not going to matter what happens over there with CPI. I think we have a recipe for the indices to continue pumping. Okay, so those are the indices. We're going to go over the MAGS ETF here before jumping into the MAG 7 stocks. And I'm just going to say it. Say it with me, guys. Okay, is this something that looks bearish to you? Is it something? I say this quite often. Is it something that looks like it's about to fall off a cliff to you? Please say it with me. No, it looks like it's about to pump. Okay, it looks like we can get something really going over here. You had this 3 to 4 week range, all right, sideways action slash, a steady sideways grind here, slightly up, but now you are clear as day breaking up. If we get a nice, weekly close here, guys, like it's only Tuesday, okay, tomorrow's Wednesday, okay, like straight up, we only have a few more trading sessions in the week. As long as this doesn't crap to bed, tomorrow's a big day. As long as we hold for tomorrow, we're probably going to hold into end of week. And we're probably going to get somewhere up here. And that is fuel for everything. Like that tells us MAG 7 stocks are probably going to be continuing. That tells us if MAG 7 stocks are going to be continuing, the NASDAQ is probably going to be continuing. And the NASDAQ is what leads the S&P 500. Semiconductors lead those. All right, the NASDAQ and tech is what leads, the S&P 500. That's just how things work. And, I'm telling you right now, this is something that looks like it's about to go on a tear. I think we're going to get it. Okay. So that's the MAGS ETF. Amazon, this is my favorite Mag 7 stock right now. I'm just going to point out Meta as well in today's video. GOOG was looking not too bad. I told you guys GOOG and Amazon. I think I pointed out Meta, but I definitely said GOOG and Amazon. Those are the two Mag 7 stocks with the setups right now that I would be focusing on if you want to play the Mag 7 stocks. Well, Google went for a freaking tear and a half today, okay? I'm not going to say I played it, but I definitely told you guys about this one. And, I hope someone, out there, well, I know someone definitely made money. I hope a lot of you guys made money off of Goog today. This thing did end up, kind of coming straight to the target that we were talking about, which would have been 183.63. I know you didn't quite hit it, but the high of the day was 182.45. You got quite a freaking move, okay, off the low 176 something, 176.50, all the way up to 182.40. Like, that is no freaking joke, okay? Um, but yeah, charts predict the news, and I hope, over time as you watch these videos and, you spend some time with me, you're going to see that to be true. All right, charts do predict the news. This was a news catalyst over here that initiated this move, but guess what? Guess what told us about it ahead of time? Coming into the week, break and retest. The chart, break and retest off 168.24. We have this 3-week range over here. What happened? All you need to do is break above the 3-week range. You're going to start freaking moving. That's what happened. All right. But coming over to my personal fave Mag 7 stock right now is Amazon. I think we're going to be seeing 220, 225 this week. And yeah, I'm here for it. Okay. I will point out you get decreasing volume on this move up, but when do we see this fresh breakout just like this curl up like right over there, just like that? When do we see it just stop right there? We typically don't. All right, we typically don't. You just broke out. I know you did it over here, and if we do get that pullback over here, we're going to view it as a buying opportunity. We are going to make our freaking money off of it. But as of right now, until proven otherwise, guys, the market is bullish. And I know we got news, but it's not a reason to be scared. I'm not telling you to take a bunch of risk into the news catalyst that we don't know the outcome in. It can give us the pullback, but I'm telling you right now, even if we get that pullback, we know to treat it as a buying opportunity over the coming sessions. Maybe it does take 1 to 2 weeks there, but we do know how to approach this market either direction. We do. Okay. So I just want you guys to make money, and you have to keep everything we're talking about in mind in order to happen. You have to have that big picture point of view, and I'm telling you, things are set up to rip. If they go against us, hey, okay, at least we know we're with the probabilities. If you take these setups time after time after time after time, you know you're going to be winning. Okay? If you take the unprofitable setups time after time after time after time, you're going to lose all your money. I don't want you guys to lose all your money. I want you guys to steadily grow your money. I want you to be able to pull out an income from the market. Whatever your goal is, I want to help you do so. Okay, and you have to have good trading principles. You have to learn how to chart in order to do that, and that is what I cover in these videos. And I try and share how to actually trade these moves as well in each and every video. Okay, we cover all the scenarios and how you can go about making money off of them. But at the end of the day, you got to learn how to chart, and this is definitely the prime focus of these videos. All right, on the upside over here on Amazon, we're watching today's high at 217.85, or not today's high, yesterday's high still. We did not break it. I actually gave you guys this trade idea in yesterday's video. Congrats. I wish I had my That Was Easy button. I'm currently in Greece. I don't have the That Was Easy button, but I definitely gave this as my Mag 7 trade idea for you. I said if you see the retest off of 214, I'm not telling, no financial advice. I'm not telling anybody to do anything with their money, okay? But I will gladly share the opportunities as they come and as I see them. This was your little day trade slash swing trade entry opportunity off of 214.84. If you hit it with the break and retest off 214.84, you probably weren't going to violate this 212.88 low. If you did, all right, then you would have known you were wrong. You did not. So I told you guys you can literally take it right here. I think I pointed this out right here and how you can go for the sweet 2 to 1. All right, just like that. So you have a nice, 2.3 to 1 over there. This would be your target up to 220. But in reality, if you get this move and you get this entry and buyers do end up defending here, you are likely heading up here. And at that point, oh, is that a 5 to 1 I see? Yeah, I got your back, buddy. I got you. You want to make money? I got you in these videos. You just have to do what you got to do. Okay, you're not going to do the things that probabilities are suggesting aren't going to be, working for you. You're going to lose time after time with that approach. I'm going to show you how to put probabilities in and odds in your favor. On the upside, 217.85, 219.97, and then we're talking 225.86 to 228.06. I think it isn't coming, baby. I think it's coming. On the downside, okay, again, we're going to watch 214.84 and 212.88, guys. If that is taken out, like really, you can just watch today's low, but it's pretty close over there, 214.84. If you do not hold 214.84, watch 212.88, and that's going to tell you you're coming back down here. All right, you're coming right here, and that is the next spot to really take your stab at this, because that is going to be where the daily 21, that would be reversion to the mean. And yeah, we already know you just got this breakout, so if you pull back, I mean, it's definitely just going to be providing a buying opportunity for us. And yeah, that is something that's how at least we're going to play it until proven otherwise. You know, I put odds in our favor here on this channel, and you have to do so as well. Meta. All right. Meta is something that if this thing gets moving and grooving, you have a 3-day range. Okay, guys, you get moving and grooving over 75.19 tomorrow. I'm thinking, honestly, I think you're probably going to gap up with how everything's set up. Okay, I told you guys the Mag 7, the MAGS ETF there was set up to continue. Indices are set up to continue. VIX is set up to continue, you know, coming down. IWM doesn't make sense that you didn't touch the 200 DMA yet. DIA is going to go up and hit its supply zone. It's looking like that's likely. MAGS ETF is looking like it just got its breakout. It wants to definitely continue there. It's breaking out from 3 to 4 week range. All right. And these MAG 7 stocks, I'm telling you, pretty much all of them are set up to run. Over here, Meta, guys, if you gap up, you know, we're talking like maybe 710 tomorrow, okay, and then pull back to 705.19, that would be your buying opportunity off of the top of the 3-day range. This 3-day range, guys, the bottom of it, I'm just going to change the level, watch it, it's right over here. It's clear as day. At the clearly defined range is $12. All right, so you're probably going to be heading up to 715 to 720 tomorrow if this thing does not crap the bed off of CPI. All right, so above 705.19, you really have nothing until 725.01 over here. All right, and you know, you can honestly, you can put that level on as well, 718. All right, and we go like that. All right, so above 705.19, you target 718.14, and that's really going to be the measure move of this 3-day range right here on that breakout. So above 718.14, you have 725.01, and then nothing until all-time high 740.91. Again, with the weekly chart, guys, you close out like this. I told you we could have these in store. We'd know if we're getting this, and again, we will use it as a buying opportunity over the next 1 to 2 weeks. We know how to play this. We know how to make our money over here, no matter which way we're going to go. Okay, but you're not looking to short strength. It's just not going to be a winning equation. All right, moving on over here to Apple. I'm not going to say it looks the strongest. I told you guys, it's not time to play this guy. It's really not. It's not. You haven't even gotten your daily close above 203.81. That's the top of this range that you keep just getting freaking rejected at, okay? You don't have business playing it right now. You just don't. I point out the Mag 7 stocks that you have business playing right now. And you coming into the week, guys, it was Amazon and Google. All right, that's it. I told you Meta's not looking all that bad after last week as well, but you know, I definitely pounded the absolute table on Amazon and Google, and that is something that's a common theme here on this channel here, is I will pound the table on you know, things that are just ready to go. Okay, I'll let you know what is hot right now and how to make your money. Apple over here, you want to lose your money, you're going to keep trading Apple over here while it's in this range. Chop City. Okay, on the 200.02, you have nothing until 198.23, 196.78, and then 193.25. On the upside, you have 203.81, which I'm just going to change this level. We're going to watch today's high above 204.35. You're watching for a move up to 206.75. You break above 206.75, you have this little range breakout here. At that point, we probably are coming all the way up here, 214.56. And then above there, you have a big range breakout, and you come up here, 225.70, right around that 200 DMA. Tesla, oh baby, you're back above the daily 21. Let's see if the cloud flips into bullish territory there. All right, let's flip it back to green. We know what happens when you flip it back to green. I'm just going to say this weekly chart is looking absolutely phenomenal. Imagine if this actually engulfs this whole previous sell candle, and yeah, all of what happened is completely in the wind. It's behind us. Um, yeah, I think this thing is still getting up here, guys. You pull back right here to the golden pocket. Year 0.618 fib, you tested it right on the dot. I'll just remove that resistance so we can clearly see it. You tested it right on the dot. You see 273.32 right there. The bottom was 273.21. I'm telling you guys, if you don't know how to put on these levels on your chart to get these clean reactions, like you're gonna need it to trade and make money in this market. If you don't know how to have the success with it, I can show you time after time my execution of these levels on this channel. Okay, I'll show you how to put them on and exactly how I'm doing it. And then I'll talk about how to actually execute on them. But you have to forget about what's not working, okay? You have to do what's working, forget about what's not working. I'm sorry, but that is exactly how you're going to be a winner in this game, and I know how it feels to be a loser. You don't want to be a loser. Okay, you want to stack your wins, you want to be a winner, get used to the winning psychology. You're going to have a much better time. If you are in a cycle of losing, it is bad for your psychology, and you got to realize, take a step back. You get a reset on setups every 1 to 2 weeks. This channel will be here in 1 to 2 weeks for you, but I want you to take a step back from the market, and I want you to have a clear headspace. Okay, every 1 to 2 weeks you get new setups. Okay, a new whole reset on setups. Every week, I'll give you several opportunities to make your 50 to 100% gains here on this. If you want to just, actually see execution live on those and you want to guarantee you're getting in on them, that's going to be the link down below. Again, if you are joining, make sure you're using the code GREASE. I want you to get your discount because I am definitely out of the country for the next at least 10 days. So I lost my luggage today, guys. They lost my freaking luggage on the airport. Oh my gosh. And yeah, it's gone. It's gone. So we got to get reimbursed for it now. It's gone. I've not gotten any word of it. They told me to be patient, but it's now been a whole entire day and it is gone. So tomorrow we're hitting the town. And I don't know how much we're gonna spend on clothes, but I'm really tight that they lost over $1,000 worth of clothes there. So yeah, now I'm in a foreign country and we're gonna see what they got here. I think they have some nice brands, but yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to buy a whole new wardrobe for the next 10 days at least. Here out of the country. So let's see. I did get some European swimsuits today, and I think my legs look pretty freaking sexy. I feel like I got big legs, but you know that meme where, SpongeBob is like showing off his leg over there, and it's like that skinny, like muscular looking, but very skinny leg. Yeah, I feel that way now with these shorts, except I ain't got skinny legs. I got these nice beefy quads over here. You can see you can see my quad striations through these freaking legs, or through these European shorts. I think it's kind of sexy. All right, so yeah, that's Tesla over here. We're gonna come over here to Goog, and I'm just gonna say, congratulations. If I had that was easy button with me over here on the trip, I would hit it for you. I'm glad I didn't bring it because guess what? They would have freaking lost it. I'm really glad I had my laptop and my iPad in my, normally just carry-on bag. I'm really happy about that, but yeah, the bulk of my stuff it's all gone. It's as you could tell, I'm pissed. It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. But yeah, on the upside, guys, you have 181.13. Okay, that level, it's not really all that important to us now, but it is definitely an area there. I'm just gonna say watch 183.63. That's the next stop. If you missed out on it, don't be chasing it. You don't have a reason to. I told you I will put the setups in your radar before they come, and then as they're actually moving, I will tell you when that's happening so you can execute on them. Right now, Goog, I told you well ahead of time, and if you didn't execute before, please do not be chasing up here as the daily RSI is coming into overbought territory. We could see you're probably going to get a pullback, and then that pullback over the next 1 to 2 weeks, once that actually happens, like that can happen from up here, yeah. But once you get that, that's what you want to execute on. You're going to have a reversion to the mean over here. It can take some time. And that's what I was saying. If you are in that losing cycle, please don't do anything. Don't FOMO. Don't do anything to mess yourself up even more. I want you to win. Okay, I want you to get back to being a winner, and you're going to need to take a step back for a few days. Come back. This channel is going to be right here for you, buddy. It's right here for you. Take a step back. Come back in 1 to 2 weeks. You're going to have a nice reset on all these setups. We have reversion to the mean that'll probably be taking place at some point, and you can play that. Okay. But it's no reason to FOMO into setups if you didn't get in on when you actually should have. There's no reason to chase them. That's a recipe for continuously being in that losing psychology, that losing cycle, and you don't want to be that in the market. Okay. Coming over here to Nvidia, does this look like it wants to break down to you? To me, it looks like you finally just got your daily close above that big 143.44 spot that you've rejected a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4 times. You just got the daily close above, guys. Above 145, we have absolutely nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing. until you get up here 148.97. If you want a level to watch in between and take profits off of, I'm talking above 145, you have 146.54, and above there, absolutely nothing until 148.97, and then all-time highs 153.13. All right, so those are most of the Mag 7 stocks. So we got the final one over here at Microsoft. I know it's not looking the best, but it's also not looking the worst over here. I'm just going to say you have a bearish divergence over here on the daily RSI. I would not be touching this guy. I don't think there's a reason to. I think there's a reason to play the pullback if it happens, but I don't know if that's actually going to be the case. I think the best course of action is to focus on what has the setups right now. And I'm telling you right now, right? I mean, you kind of would have had to get in these things before, hand. If we get the pullback, I'm definitely looking to execute on that. But I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's the best idea chasing everything, at least, putting on, nice size. Like let's look at it this way. If you get a CPI gap up tomorrow, yes, you probably do end up, making it up here 225.86. Okay. I'm not saying you don't. But I am definitely going to tell you that, yeah, I wouldn't be chasing the move. I'm telling you, it's exactly what I just talked about. You get a reset every 1 to 2 weeks. Just take a step back, and yeah, you ain't gonna chase. Okay, and if you sit on your hands into the event, hey, all right, I got some setups for you at the end of the video that you can watch for execution on over the coming trading sessions. Okay, all right, but those are the Mag 7 stocks, guys. I do think Microsoft is probably going to continue, but it comes down to CPI tomorrow. I think everything is set up to pump. So I wanted to make it very clear in this video. I know I said 10 to 20 minutes in the beginning of the video, but I wanted to make it extremely clear that we have a setup to pump across the board. Right, as far as stocks that I am paying attention to that are hot setups right now, I think PayPal is probably going to have itself a day tomorrow and get up to 76.46, which is going to be right underneath that 200 DMA. I told you guys in yesterday's video, and coming into this week, hey, this is one of my hot setups over here that I am, planning on executing on, and cutting into 76.46 to 79. I think those are still going to be hit. I don't know if we get 79 this week, but if this thing has itself a day off, a positive CPI reaction on the market tomorrow, then yeah, all right, I'm outie. Okay, and that's what I was saying. Don't be chasing. I'm personally going to be taking off as you're chasing if you are going to be doing so. I don't think you want to, be fading us, guys. It, you can. You can. If you want to use me as your inverse indicator, you can. But I'm telling you, I care about you, and I don't think you should be doing so. But again, you can. Sometimes I get it wrong. But I also talk about those invalidations on my thesis in all these videos. On all these stocks, I talk about where to invalidate the thesis. And, over here on PayPal, guys, the thesis doesn't get invalidated until you really get back underneath, under like 71 bucks. Right, so a pullback over here is just going to create a buying opportunity over here. Or, I'm going to be personally using July calls on, all of the tickers that I just, showed you. I'm going to be using July calls on that pullback if we get it. Okay. And, I can be wrong. I don't think things are set up to fall right now. I think they're set up to continue pumping. But that's PayPal. You can come over here, QBTS. This thing is hitting it with a little bull flag action. I know it's coming down. It's looking ugly. I understand. I think it's probably going to get bought up. Once it does get bought up, take out 1977. We're probably going to have a straight shot, 22 to 24 bucks. All right, like this range. Let's just look at it. Is $4. You break above here. Well, where do you think I got the $24 number for? Well, the $4 equivalent of the range break, it brings you right there to 24 bucks. You could be paying attention to that. McDonald's, MCD, this is something that doesn't like to move with the market, but I will point out you have increasing volume over here off of the 200 DMA 2 days in a row. I know right now it looks like you lost it, but I'm just going to show you guys right over here. You lost it for a day and you popped right back up. What's important is that you are finding buyers right here in this area, and I think we're probably putting in a base before you bounce back up. Right, and once you do end up bouncing back up, yeah, you can come all the way back up here to like 305 to 310, and that's where you can make your money. Okay, if you do take out 305, we're talking 310, and then above that, the daily chart would actually just start turning around. But once it starts turning around, I think it's going to happen like this, where within like a few sessions, you're way up here. 310, 315. All right, so keep it on the radar. I'm keeping it on mine. Next one is going to be PLTR over here. It hasn't broken out yet, but if we get a positive CPI, I imagine we probably, open up 136, probably 135, 136. All right, hit it with the break and retest off of 135.28 tomorrow, or if you open right here, maybe it pulls back to 133.49. That's a key level right there that you keep projecting. That could provide your entry over here. I do think Palantir is set up to continue. You have been grinding here, and it clearly does want to move higher. So that is what I'm thinking over here. All right, next one I'm going to point out is ASTS over here. I still think you are going higher in this week. I think you put in a relatively bullish close for the massive move you had yesterday and last week. And this thing is just grinding higher towards all-time highs. If it pulls back, I'm a buyer on it. I just don't know if it's actually going to pull back, okay? But that is ASTS. And now the next one I'm going to point out is SMCI. If this thing does end up getting the CPI gap tomorrow above 44.99, or just honestly gets above 44.99, at that point I do think 47.80 is on the table, and especially 50.61. That's going to be a key spot. All right, and lastly, we're going to talk about, well, I got one more after this, but Oklo. We're talking about Oklo and SMR. Oklo itself over here is down 3% on the day. You currently have this little bull flag. The range you are currently trading in is currently $12. So if you break 59, guys, baby, we're coming to 70 bucks. I told you guys, break above 59.14, we're talking 70, 80 bucks. It's still something I'm keeping on the radar here. I think it's getting ready to go. I told you, I'll tell you when the setups are getting ready to go, and this is one that we played, all right, along the way. And guess what? Playing it again right now if we get what we like. Okay, you can take the early entry and risk down here, but I'm just also going to say if it breaks one day, it breaks above 59.14. I'd say honestly that's a safer entry than even taking it down here. It's up to you how you want to play that though. It really is. Okay, I'll give you guys levels. I'll give you guys what's going on and how I would personally be trading them. But at the end of the day, I can't give financial advice. It is up to you to pull your own triggers. If you want to, pull your triggers based off my triggers, you can just follow along with what I'm doing and how I'm talking about things. Okay. Over here, SMR has this very similar setup. You swept the top over here, guys. If we do end up breaking back above 36.85 to 38.39, if we get through the zone, like I do think this thing is probably going to like 50 bucks. All right, you had a big move up. You had this consolidation on this range alone. I know you had the false breakout today, but this range alone is going for $7. So if you can really sustain above this level, we're going to immediately talk like 45, that 45 psych level, and above there $50. Okay, now last but not least, okay, we are talking the bit of corn, Bitcoin. This is another thing that's factoring into my bullish thesis over here, guys. This any dip over here is probably going to be bought with what we're seeing here. This was a very strong push up. Now pulled back for a day over here, but what happened? You got bought up, and you closed out with the dragonfly style doji candlestick. Honestly, I think this thing is going to 112K all-time highs, and I think MSTR and coin are probably make a comeback, especially MSTR. All right, so I'll put it on your radar here. I put it on your radar coming into the week, and I'm doing so right now. This thing did end up hitting it with another bullish day yesterday, and then today it pulled back, and you printed a similar candlestick to Bitcoin over there. Point is, you found buyers here off of the daily 21, off these daily short-term moving average right here, and your daily cloud did flip out to bullish as of yesterday. Technically, it's today. You just started the process yesterday, okay? Above yesterday's high at 394.79, you're watching 404.42, and then above there, 430.35, 444.94. Corner of a coin, how would you be looking at that guy? All right, I'm just going to say bull flag. Okay, it's bull flag, a pennant, whatever you want to really call this thing. It's setting up. It's consolidating. We talked about this yesterday. This is the compression. This is the consolidation that leads to expansion. This is a reversion to the mean that comes every 1 to 2 weeks. You don't believe me? You don't believe me, eh? You don't believe me? I know it took 3 weeks, but every 1 to 2 weeks you'll get the setting up for you, okay? Sometimes it takes longer than, others, but come over here to Amazon. Well, you didn't want to be chasing this move, right? Well, every 1 to 2 weeks. This right here is 1.5 weeks. Well, you started breaking out right over here. This was 3 weeks. You got a very clean breakout from this little base you got going on down here, and you could have taken it off 208. All right, and off of 208, you already made $9, and I'm telling you, you're probably going to be able to get that. That's an 8% move that if you were just willing to wait every 1 to 2 weeks, okay, I guess we could say 1 to 3, but every 1 to 2 weeks, you're going to be getting the reversion to the mean. This thing took all right, 10 days, week and a half to revert back to the mean. You could have taken it right off the 200 over here. You could have taken it right off the daily 21. That's your reversion to the mean. But the actual base breakout setup, that took 3 weeks to play out from over here. And then guess what? All right, it already started going, okay? So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little bit longer than the 10 to 20 minutes I talked about at the beginning of the video. But you know, I do provide an absolute crap ton of value in these videos. I really just want to, you know, I want to give that value to the people. You are the people. I appreciate you. And with that being said, please just remember to leave a like on the video, guys. It's the only thing I ask for in these videos. I don't ask for anything else. I just ask that you help me grow my platform over here, okay? So I can reach new people, so I can, you know, potentially help more people and, you know, more traders have a better time, okay? And the only way we're going to do that is if you guys do end up leaving those likes. If you guys can leave a comment, I appreciate it. I'll respond to comments. At a minimum, I'll be hearting every comment. Um, but yeah, guys, let me know if you guys do need anything. My Twitter DMs are open. Okay, I'm always here to help and stuff like that. I can't guarantee, you know, a prompt response right that will be in the Discord. But you know, as far as like if you want a prompt response, honestly, leave a YouTube comment and I got you. Okay, I'll check out. You know, which would you know, let me know what you're thinking. Okay, appreciate y'all, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.